Okay, let's try this again. Well, welcome to the 18th meeting. Our club mission, we provide a supportive, positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication, leadership skills, resulting in. So welcome to our meeting. And I'm going to right into the throat of the meeting and hand the gavel over to our welcoming Dinesh Sharma.
Thank you, Sergeant Adam Brahm. Good morning and welcome to everybody to another exciting meeting of Leadership Speech today. I am both honored and humbled to be the Toastmaster of the day today for this meeting. The theme of the meeting as we choose is leading at a higher level. Okay, we all are leaders. We all have our different styles. Okay, we all lead people. So what does this mean at leading at a higher level? To me, when I was researching this, okay, it's a leading at a higher level is a process, the process of achieving worthwhile results while acting with respect, care, and fairness for the well-being of all involved. Leading at a higher level is to understand who we are, where are we going, and what will drive our journey. Last but not the least is leading at a higher level also means unleashing the power and potentials of individuals and organizations without being judgmental for the greater cause. So with this in mind, we are going to be starting this meeting today. And I'm not alone when I'm doing this role of the Toastmasters. I have a few of the my colleagues that are going to help me in the meeting today. We are going to have table topic master role being done by Farsi, and we are going to have our general evaluator as, what did I see? General evaluator. Okay. Mary Lou is our general evaluator. Okay. So Mary Lou is the general evaluator and Percy is our table topic master for the day. Moving on, I'm going to invite our, to do the toast of the day is Francois Juan. Francois, over to you for the toast of the day.
Thank you so much, my fellow colleague. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leadership Speak. And I'm doing the toast. Our meeting theme for today, this morning, wherever you are across the globe, is leading at a higher level. And this is my toast. Leaders, take initiative and be committed. We will take the lead, leaving the crumbs by allowing Toastmasters to develop and enhance our soft skills, building our confidence into a mature leader and communicator. From the book, Ken Blanchard on the Leading at a Higher Level series, I quote something from him, and it says, from the Revised Edition, that dedicated to all leaders, dedicated to all leaders in the world who are trying every day to lead at a higher level. May you keep your energy high and know that what you are doing makes a difference. To leadership.
Leadership.
The virtual lectern is back over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Madam Francois. Moving on, we're going to move on to our grammarian for the day to give us the word. Grammarian is Sreshi Karan. Sreshi, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The word for today is zealous, which is an adjective, which means having or showing great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an obligation. Let me give you examples. The council was extremely zealous in the application of the regulations. Secondly, she was most zealous in performing her duties. As grammarian today, I will pay attention to the language usage and good words. Again, crutch words and sounds destroy the meaning of your message. Inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, you know, like. Sounds such as ah, are some examples. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian. So we are going to put the word of the day in the chat and we encourage everybody to make sure to ensure that we use the word of the day as much as we can. And the grammarian will count at the end of the meeting how many times did we use the word. Moving on, the timer for the day is Maria De Luz. Maria, over to you. Can you explain your role, please?
Yes. My role for the day is to be a timer. I'm going to be keeping the time for the speeches. The first speech is 10 to 12 minutes. The other three speeches is 5 to 7 minutes. I am assuming because I don't see the times on the agenda, but let me know if if your time is different. For the evaluation is 3 minutes. And for the table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. So, I will be, from each minute, I will be putting the card of green, yellow, and red. Thank you so much. I'm zealous to be in this meeting. Super committed too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Timer. So as she said, she would be doing green, yellow, and red. So the intent, somebody who's new to this meeting would know that yellow means time to wrap up, okay? Red means we are now in the end, we should close of our speech as immediately as possible. And there's always a 30 seconds of the grace period that you can do that too. Moving on, as we always do, we have a full packed agenda for the day today. As we always do, we have a leadership speak presentation, and today we are going to have Brahm, Memone, our founder. He is going to do a leadership speak, and the timing for Brahm's speech is 8 to 10 minutes. So 8 minutes green, 9 minutes yellow, and 10 minutes red. Over to you, Brahm.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome guests. Last week I spoke about the Global Leadership Impact Summit, but I didn't quite get into the why. Let's get through this again and really understand this project that this club is sponsoring. First of all, can you imagine 1,000 people who are highly positive, inspired Toastmasters from around the world in the summit? Just imagine 1,000 people. Now, normally on your screen, if you have a nice big screen and you've got a latest computer, 49 people will fit on one screen, and 1,000 people will be like 22, 23 screens, full of 49 people each screen. That's huge. That's a huge game to play, right? Now, can you imagine, right? In such a place, there'll be international presidents, leadership gurus, world championship of public speaking attend, and the workshops and panels, panel discussions, and keynote speeches. Imagine 1,000 people together. People like Jim Kokoski, Mohammad Murad, Deepak Menon. These are the past international presidents at this event. Verity Price, the last year's winner at World Championship of Public Speaking. Lance Miller, 2005 World Championship of Public Speaking, and many others at this event. A global guru who consults with Fortune 100 CEOs and presidents and upper management. One of the top leadership gurus doing a keynote. Imagine, and 1,000 people in attendance. Breakout rooms, networking rooms, workshops, you name it, happening on July the 23rd at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and sponsored by Leadership Speak. Our club, we are going to do this together. Imagine. So all of you here have a stake in this. Because July the 23rd is a Saturday, it's our regular meeting normally. And we'll be all here together, doing this together. Now you said, Brahm, are you out of your mind? Why the heck are you going to be doing this thing? What gives you the right? I mean, for your DTM project, which this is, you could have asked an area contest to put it together, or helped the division director and put a division contest together, or even helped at the district level, since you're a district officer, and done something there and put together something there. Why 1,000 people? Are you crazy out of your head? And why did you think of 1,000 people? So, well, a Zoom meeting can fit 1,000 people maximum. And so I said 1,000 people, that is the reason. And if you want more than 1,000 people, you have to become a webinar. And we don't want a webinar format. Now, to handle 1,000 people, you need great experts, right? You need experts who really understand Zoom and the technology and how to handle 1,000 people and what really happens in a room where 1,000 people are involved, with breakout rooms and so on. So I've got some of the planet's best technological people on the team to help us, to help this club. Now, let me go a little bit backwards and to the crisis that we've just faced, and we think it's almost over, but most people are still going online, and most people are still wondering what the future holds. And during the pandemic, as we all know, if you look at the Toastmasters International dashboard, for those of you who don't know the dashboard, every district, every club is listed on the dashboard, and the public can go and have a look at it. It's open information. And you will find that this year, and we're almost ending this year, Toastmasters year, it ends in 3 to 4 weeks' time. Every district has lost clubs, every district has lost members. The only district that has gained is District 85, which Farsi comes from. Farsi comes from the top district currently. And we wish him well in his speech and in his World Championship of Public Speaking. We hope he reaches the final and at the top. So best of luck there, Farsi. Now, this crisis has happened because here's the thing, right? There's different levels of leadership. And we are mostly stuck at the first level of leadership. And this is not to blame anybody or anything, except that it's the system that we live in, the education that we go through. And so we are stuck at level 1 of leadership. And the level 1 of leadership is mostly focused on operational type of leadership. Operational type of leadership focuses on, you got a checklist, right? And you tick off the checklist that I've done this, I've done that, and this is how it's to be done. There's guidelines, there's rules, there's human resources manuals, and everything tells you what to do. And also life is like, when should you get up, when should you go to work, and how you should work. Everything is so organized. And so it's mostly an operational type, highly organized, linear type of system. And so when crisis happens, what happens is that we look at the checklist, and what's really happening out there is not on the checklist. When what's happening out there is not on the checklist, suddenly you find at odds with what you've been told to do. And the checklist hasn't changed, but the circumstances have changed. Now you see the gap. And because of that gap, you know, in your own home clubs where you come from, right? And many other clubs in the district and around the globe, membership dropped, clubs closed down because the checklist doesn't match the reality that's out there. And because we have been conditioned, it's operational conditioning. If you look at one of the most watched TED Talks by Sir Ken Robinson, he says, we've been taught to conform in a very narrow bandwidth, and we have no creativity left in us. You know, he said, look at children when they're growing up. They're highly creative beings, but slowly, because of the education, their creativity is sucked out, and they're left with only left brain thinking. Sir Ken Robinson, he passed away a couple of years ago, but his TED Talks are there, and watch it. It's amazing what he talks about, all right? Mr. Sergeant at Arms, there's people waiting at the door, so to be let into the room. It's on my screen, hence I'm asking. So we have to really begin to think that we've been conditioned to think in a certain manner, and that we need to rethink different ways that are not on the checklist. That is, the pathways tells you to do things, but you have to sort of be creative and do those things in a slightly different way than what the pathways tells you, and yet meet the obligations and the objectives and the purpose of pathways. And so maybe we need a bit more imagination and be a bit more creative, and hence imagine, right, is the theme of the summit. Second level of leadership is strategic. If you are a club officer, you are told to fill in a club success plan. Make sure that the club meets the DCP points. So strategic leaders, they tend to listen to that and try their best to do that. Create a strategy, try to get teams together. It's like herding cats together, actually, right? What we are really doing merely is moving pieces of the puzzle in the same box. And the box might change a little bit and might expand a little bit, but inherently, basically, we just playing around and taking the same product and wrapping it in a different wrapper. But when you open the wrapper, it's the same product inside. It's a slightly different design, maybe, but it does the same thing. So beyond that strategic leadership, what is there then? I suggest that perhaps to be very creative, to be able to sort of meet your potential, there's this generative type of leadership, which is the ability to work with uncertainty, ambiguity, the ability to say, okay, it tells me this is on the checklist, but let me take a risk and work with the uncertainty. Let me work with ambiguity. Let me color outside the guidelines and see what's possible. And that's what we did at My Speak Toastmasters Club, and took it from 2 members to 58 members and one of the top 4 clubs globally. Is we started to color outside the lines. We got together and said, what can we create here? What can we generate here? Sure, we will follow the purpose and the objectives. And of course, there's this 4 values in Toastmasters, right? Integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And so service and excellence, we took it as, how can we be world-class in online meetings, right? And if you look at our vision in Leadership Speak, we are the premier club for leadership development, a premier club, which is a world-class club. So we are creative. And our tagline is learn, connect, and create. Learn something new, unlearn the old, right? The first level of leadership, We have to unlearn it and let it go and learn something new. It is to be generative, to work with uncertainty, to take a risk and make mistakes, because mistakes allow you to be creative and to learn about yourself. Hence, this Global Leadership Impact Summit, ladies and gentlemen. And hence, we are here to learn, connect, innovate, and create, which is what Leadership Speak is all about. That's why we are sponsoring this particular event. And the theme, therefore, is imagination, to connect and to create something different and out of the box. And so that's what the summit is all about, is that we want to unlock the imagination of people and that they can connect with each other and begin to create something different. That's why we're having this summit. That is the case for why we are doing what we are doing in Leadership Speak. Let's connect together and let's go on this journey and develop ourselves to the next level of leadership and the next, and become who we really are, and why we are here in Leadership Speak. Thank you very much. It's July the 23rd, 9:30 a.m. The only thing I want you guys to do is to be an ambassador to the program. I will go a little bit over time here, just a little bit. Be an ambassador to the program. Now, be an ambassador to the program means, join the program, the summit, promote it amongst your friends, have 10, 15, 20 people join this, because we want 1,000. And I can't go and talk to 1,000 people, but all of us together can do that. And number two is this, and this is the cream de la cream of this project that I haven't mentioned before, is that we are going to nominate several people globally in Toastmasters who will receive an award of recognition for having generated and who have generated and become generative leaders, who have worked with uncertainty, who have worked with ambiguity and created spectacular results. You can nominate yourself, you can nominate somebody in your club, you can nominate somebody in some other district that you know has done some great work. So all of you here, all of you who are on the screen, it is us. We are Leadership Speak, all of you here. But you are Leadership Speak, Mary Lou, you are Leadership Speak, Luz, you are Leadership Speak, Dinesh, you are Leadership Speak. So we have to do this together, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I rest my case. I will be connecting with you individually, every one of you, and we will do this together and come together after that. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brahm, for the more insight, deep information on this project that we are working at. I am very excited. I can tell you that. Global Leadership Summit, that's a very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to it too. Madam Timer, can you give everybody 1 minute to give their individual feedback to Brahm, and then we'll move on to the next portion of the meeting. 1 minute, everybody, please, for giving individual feedback to Brahm Memone.
Time is done.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Before we move on to our prepared speeches, I want to take a step back. And the reason I want to take a step back is I've seen in the last 10 minutes, a lot of guests have joined the meeting. So we want to welcome all these guests that have joined the meeting and want to give them an opportunity of maybe about 30 seconds to introduce themselves and let us know that how did they hear about this meeting and what exactly are they looking for in this meeting. So I can see a couple of them, and I'm going to go one by one onto them too. So one person that I see, who's obviously my dear friend also, Liliana Nakamura. Liliana, over to you. Can you introduce yourself and also tell us how did you hear about this meeting?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Dinesh. I think I heard through a mailing list or something, and I saw your face, and I decided to join. I am a Toastmaster. My club is Unstoppable Ex-Speakers in Toronto, part of District 60. So I'm really glad to be here, and I'm enjoying the meeting so far. So thank you so much for all the organizers and all the fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Liliana. Thank you. Now we have another guest by the name AK. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, hi, this is Anusha. I've been a guest here, I think twice or thrice before, and I heard about this club through other Toastmasters. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Rosie Rana, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please?
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
My
Yeah.
name. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. Were we speaking together? Sorry about that. I think it's me.
Yeah, Rosie, go ahead.
Thank you, Dinesh. I'm from Kenya, and I know Brahm. Brahm's invited me, and I have been here before and delighted to be with you all today.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you for introducing yourself. Then I see I have Mani Bhandari. Mani, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm from Canada, and I have been following BMG from last few months, and I really admire Mr. Naresh. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mani. Thank you. I know, Sarfaraz, you are a speaker today, so we will get to hear about you too. Did I miss anybody? If I did, I apologize. And you can introduce yourself if I haven't introduced you or if I haven't given you the opportunity. So
I'm Yvonne Codrington.
there you go. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And I'm from St. John's Toastmasters in Barbados. I think I was following this meeting now almost a year, but not every Saturday. And I'm interested in furthering my skills in evaluation process.
Oh, perfect. Welcome to the meeting. Anyone else that I missed? Okay, thank you very much, all the guests. I'm sure you will enjoy our meeting. Moving on, we are now going to move on to our second set of this meeting, or the prepared portion of the speeches. Our first speaker is Jorge, and I'm going to request the evaluator, speech evaluator, Mariana Burka, to give the objective of the speech and to introduce the speaker also. Yeah, Mariana, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dinesh. And Juvellys will be doing a presentation from presentation mastery as an icebreaker. So we are very happy. I'm very happy to see her and made a decision to come back to the club and start presenting again speeches. So her goal is today to tell us something about herself. So I am eager to see what will I learn today.
Thank you, Mariana. So Jorge is going to be presenting our icebreaker speech in the presentation mastery level 1, speech 1. Over to you, Jorge. Floor is yours. The speech timings are 4 to 6 minutes, 4 minutes green, 5 minutes yellow, and 6 minutes red. Over to you.
Have you ever had a bad aha moment? Not the ones that you say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm talking about those where you say, no, 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 no. Now what? Well, I have one of those 14 years ago when my twins were going to turn 15. As you can tell from the previous meetings that I've been here, I am a proud Latina woman. I mean, what's not to like? We have the amazing food, we have the music, we have the ocean, and oh my God, this weather that we have in the Caribbean, you cannot beat that. So like a good Latina, quinceañera celebrations are a big thing for us. You know, the girl is turning into a beautiful woman, the dress, the hair, the makeup, all that story. But I didn't have a quinceañera when it was my turn. And I had no idea how I was going to afford one quinceañera for my kids. I have 4 of them. At that moment, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was living on just one income. And with 4 kids, I say to myself, Juvellys, this is just impossible for you. But you know that parents will do anything for their kids. Even those things that you do not do for yourself, you will do it for your kids. And I remember that when I was their age, I used to skip school, took the ferry to the Old San Juan, and look at those cruise ships, big, beautiful, amazing cruises. And I saw the tourists coming down, everybody was having fun, the suntans, you know. And I was like, wow, Juvellys, I wish that one day I will have enough money to afford a cruise. In my mind, it was impossible. Because, you know, Latinas moms are always saying, what? Juvellys, do you think that we come from money? Do you think that we will be able to afford something like that? Where do you want me to get that kind of money? Juvellys, do you think money grows on trees? And that was embedded in my mind until my kids said that they wanted a cruise for their quinceañera. So I was a mom on a mission. I did my research and I found that if I stretch a little bit and got a part-time job, I could take care of them and I could easily afford the trip of our dreams. So I did. And we had the time of our lives. That's how I became addicted. I am addicted to cruising, to travel, to challenge myself. If you go to my social media, you will see that everybody will tag me in anything that is travel related. Offers, memes, whatever they can find travel related, they will tag me on it. I also got obsessed with overcoming my limiting beliefs. And I got zealous into self-development. I got addicted to learn about epigenetics, neuroscience, transgenerational psychologies, biodecoding my physical ailments, meditation, essential oils, natural remedies, anything that could help me be the best version of me, I'm into it. So during these past 4 years, I went from a depressed stay-at-home mom to a successful financial manager. And I am leading at the highest level I could ever imagine for me. And now I can see myself coaching others to success, overcoming their limiting beliefs, and guiding them to leave their comfortable area comfortably. So I became an holistic coach to help others do the same thing that I did when I needed to change my life. And this is how I got into Toastmasters. And now I dare you to become addicted to the best version of yourself and to reach out to me if you need to start leading yourself to higher grounds. It could be in any area of your life. I am here to help you. But remember, I always say that if it is going to be, it depends only on you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmasters.
That's a wonderful speech, because I always believe it always starts from you yourself. Okay, it has to come internally, whatever we want to achieve in the life too. And your speech is definitely going to tie up into our next speech. But before we move on to that too, Madam Timer, can you give everybody 1 minute's time to give individual feedback to the speaker, please? 1 minute for everybody.
Time is up.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Moving on, our second speaker is Sarfaraz Nazir. I'm going to request the evaluator for Sarfaraz, Wesley Hillstrom, Wesley, to give Sarfaraz speech objectives. Over to you, Wesley. You're on mute, Wes.
Thank you, Dinesh. Yeah, Sarfaraz is giving a speech from Motivational Strategies, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. So the idea is to practice body language and vocal variety to get the points across in the presentation. And that is the objective.
Thanks, Wes. Sarfaraz Nazir is a DTM. He joined Toastmasters in July 1993. He's a member of the clubs District 122, District 50, and District 25. He's a presenter in Speaker Showcase at Toastmaster International Annual Convention in San Diego in August 1995. He's won District 25 Evaluation Contest in 1995. He's named District 25 Toastmaster of the Year for 1997-1998. He's 5 times DTM and is on DTM number 4 and 5 in 2022. He's 3-time World Championship of Public Speaking semifinalist, and he came in second to Ed Tate 2000 World Champion. Sarfaraz is also a co-author of Go Ahead and Laugh, a serious guide to using humor in speeches. And the speech title that Sarfaraz is using is called Obstacle. So Sarfaraz Nazir, Obstacle, Sarfaraz Nazir, over to you. Madam Timer, the speech timings are 5 to 7 minutes, 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. Over to you, Sarfaraz.
Whenever I watch the Olympics or track and field events on television, it takes me back to the time when I was in the 8th grade. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, when I was in the 8th class, our school held its annual sports day. I was so excited that I advanced to the finals of the obstacle race. Along with 7 other boys, I was at the starting line waiting for the teacher's announcement. Just like the Olympics, we were all pumped up. anxiously waiting for the start of the race. I was very zealous to take home the trophy. Hundreds of parents were in the stands cheering. And when the teacher said, "On your mark, get set, go," we took off. The first obstacle was a pile of white tennis shoes, our shoes. I had to dig through the pile, look for my shoes, put them on, tie the laces, and run. The second obstacle was bicycles. Teachers were holding bicycles, and I had to crawl through the frame of one of the bicycles. Slowly, one leg, and ouch! Got to the other side and run some more. The next obstacle was a long bench, barely a few inches off the ground. I had to drop myself on the ground, crawl under the bench like an army soldier, get up and run. The next obstacle was a table. On top of the table was a teacher's desk. I had to jump on the table, then jump on top of the desk, jump off, and take off again. When I jumped on the table and looked ahead of me, I realized that there was no one in front of me. I was leading the race at that moment. From the table, when I tried to jump on the desk, I couldn't. I tried again, but failed. Why? The boy behind me was holding on to my shirt. He wouldn't let go. He was a big boy, heavy. I don't know why he was holding on to me. Perhaps he didn't think he could jump on the table without holding on to me. And I should have let him jump up. Instead, I was fighting, struggling to get free from him. I yelled at him, "Let me go, you idiot." Actually, what I said to him cannot be repeated here. I struggled for a few seconds. While I was struggling with him, two other boys came and went across ahead of us. I pulled my shirt out of my pants, and that made him let me go. I finally jumped on the desk, jumped off, and took off again. The last obstacle was a large potato sack. I hopped into it and then hopped, hop, 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 all the way to the finish line. As I crossed the finish line, I knew I had not won. I came in third. In third place, not bad. I got to stand with the two winners on the victory podium. Parents cheering. But the school only gave trophies to the first place winner and the second place winner. This means no trophy for me. I went home empty-handed. Or did I? You see, I walked away with 3 important lessons. Hello, Toastmasters. As we go through life, we will face obstacles, and we will have to learn how to overcome those obstacles. We might have to go under the bench or over the table or through the bicycles. When water in the river faces a boulder, it does not stop flowing. It finds a way to go around it, go over it. So when you face obstacles, look for ways to overcome those obstacles. The second lesson that I learned was, in life, you will find people like that boy who held on to me and wouldn't let me go. If he had let me go, I would have been first and he would have been second. But by holding on to me and letting 2 other boys get ahead, I came in third. But he came in fourth. He didn't even get to stand on the victory podium. These people believe that the only way they can succeed is by holding on to others or pulling the others down. So you will have to face people like this. And the third lesson I learned, that winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is have a burning desire to win. And then it doesn't matter whether you win or not. It's the effort that you put in. This obstacle race taught me 3 important lessons in life. That I must face my obstacles. I must put up with people who will try to hold me back. And that I must always have a burning desire to win and succeed. But if I don't, it does not matter. Because when you shoot for the moon, if you fall short and you reach only the stars, that's okay. Whenever I see the Olympics, it takes me back to that obstacle race. But it also reminds me the 3 important lessons that I've just shared with you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Wow, what a presentation, Sarfaraz. You gave very important lesson. That reminds me to something that I learned earlier in my life, which says, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it will ultimately decide the outcome of that incident. So thank you for sharing the 3 very important lessons of the life. Madam Timer, can you give everybody 1 minute's time so that they can give individual feedback to Sarfaraz, please?
Yes. It's time.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Moving on, the third speaker for this morning meeting is Vinod Panicker. Vinod is a member of this club itself also, and I'll request Vinod's evaluator, Peggy Unlock, to give the objectives of Vinod's speak. Peggy, over to you.
Thank you very much. Vinod is working on the Effective Coaching Level 2 project. It is called the Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. And the purpose of Vinod's presentation today is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. And the purpose of the speech is for Vinod to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes. So if we can have green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7, and I will pass it back to Dinesh for the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. So as we said, Vinod is a member of Leadership Speak Club. He has been delivering wonderful speeches in the past. So I am looking forward to Vinod's speech today also and learning from him from the coaching perspective point of view. So Vinod, over to you. As Peggy has said, Madam Timer, the speech timings are 5 to 7 minutes, 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. Over to you, Vinod.
Once, there was a father who took his 3-year-old son in the evening for a walk. And he said to his son, "Son, look at the moon." Now the son had never seen a moon before. So what does he do? A 3-year-old looks at his father, looks at his finger, then looks at the moon. The second day, the father brings the son, say, son, look at the moon. The boy skips his father and the finger and looks at the moon. For me, the mentor in Toastmasters or in real life is someone who shows the moon and makes sure that he does not interfere much with the protege once he has taught him where the moon is and how to look at it. Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Dinesh, and my dear leaders, I am going to share 3 of the important lessons that I have learned from Toastmasters, because I never heard this word mentor before I joined Toastmasters. As one of the prominent coaches in the world, Richard Boyatzis, says, coaches, mentors, or any other interventions, what we talk about, talk therapy, has come on now. Earlier, we used to have friends. So we never needed any coaches or any talk interventions. But the first thing, or the first mentor in my life, came before I joined Toastmasters. I saw him in an open market day. In a supermarket, he had a stand and he was distributing pamphlets of an organization called Toastmasters. When I looked at him, I said, what it is? I had some idea. So he very intently and very enthusiastically started talking about this is an organization where you can do this, where you can do this, this. And he wanted to start a community club in our community where I stay in Dubai Silicon Oasis. And what I learned from him is patience. It took 2 years for him to start a club in this community because the authorities never gave permission, or basically they never saw the mail or they were ignoring the mail. But there was one good person who was the first president of my home club, DSO, that replied and the club started. And the first meeting, my mentor, who became my mentor, DTM VP Menon, he said something which stays with me even till date. He said, if you want to do any one selfish thing in your life, let it be Toastmasters. And the context was something similar to when you are in an aeroplane, what does the air hostess say? Put your oxygen mask first before you try to help others. And he gave a very beautiful explanation why he said so. He said, once you get married, you have kids, your life is all about others. What is it that you want to do for yourself? I embodied that words from him. And today, it's a very special day for me. And my family wants to take me out and go out. But I said, no, I have given a commitment. This, what I am doing right now, is what is my recreation. This is where I get my energy from. And that was what DTM VP Menon had taught me, and I still embody that. Be selfish. And if you want to do any one selfish thing in life, let it be Toastmasters, let it be for you. The second thing that I learned was to be politically savvy. Now, this is one thing which not many Toastmasters like to discuss. Because as soon as you talk about politics in Toastmasters, people start preaching about, as Brahm mentioned, IRSE, integrity, respect, service, excellent, as if you join Toastmasters and integrity, respect, service, excellence, something falls over you and you get all these things. It was 5 years before when my mentor lost an election. I came to realize, oh my God, what has happened? Because he was such a person who had given money from his pocket to start many clubs and even was paying for the venues. I was like, how can such a nice person lose an election? Because the person who had won was not very well known anywhere. At that time, his mentor, DTM Uma, who is the second best person known after DTM Muhammad Murad from our district, she told me something which changed my life. And she became my leadership mentor. I never believed in leadership in Toastmasters. I will confess that 5 years ago. Today, I am a complete believer. I used to think people who don't have anything good to do in life become leaders in Toastmasters, especially after the club. In a club, it's a good thing, but area, division, district, and all this thing. And I used to fight with, even argue with DTM Mohammad Murad, that why so politics and why is this going on? He used to tell me, Vinod, there is politics everywhere. And especially in a non-profit organization where it is not for money, it is for seeking power, ego satisfaction, it will be more. And that is where DTM Uma held my hand and literally taught me how to navigate this. And I understood that being politically savvy is a competency that you need to learn. And if you approach it in that way, that this is a competency that I have to learn just as I am learning in Pathway, it will help you. And that is what my mentor at that time taught me. And I became a division director at that time. And the third, I would not talk about a person, but the club, that is Leadership Speaks, and 2 members from that. And I will tell you why. These are the people who showed me the moon, which I had forgot to see. First is Brahm. He delivered a speech. I have never heard a more authentic speech in my life than what Bud had given one day. And where he said he is going to do his 3rd DTM, I believe, and he wanted to do more and more speeches. And when I look back, I had stopped giving speeches from last 2 years. I was only doing education sessions across the world. I said, what is stopping me? Let me do my 2 levels and give it to Leadership Speak, which I will be completing today. So thank you, Bud, for that. The second was Brahm, who told me that leadership magic happens in club, and be a leader at club. All the leaders who think they are great, once they leave the club, they are going up, but nobody thinks about the club. And Brahm, thanks to you, I have taken up the role of president this year in an advanced club take debate. And it is only because of you, because I had thought once you do the club level, you don't come back again into that recycle system. So these are the people who have changed and showed me the moon. And now it's my turn to show others. Thank you very much. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, what a speech, Vinod. I have always been a favorite of this mentor-mentee program, because one of the things that I always believe is a mentor-mentee program is a two-way street, because both the mentor and the mentee, they learn from each other. Because my personal belief is we all have skills and we all have abilities that others can benefit from. I can go on this too, but for the respect of the time, Madam Timer, can you give everybody 1 minute's time to give their individual feedback to Vinod, please?
Yes. One minute.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Now, can you give, Madam Timer, the individual speech timing for all the 4 speakers, the leadership speak and all the other 3 speakers, please?
Yes. For Global Leadership Impact Summit, it was 12 minutes and 38 seconds. For Juvellys Jorge, Icebreaker, 5 minutes and 1 second. Sarfaraz Nazir, 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Vinod, 7 minutes and 55 seconds. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Timer. May I request Brahm to put on the poll for the Best Speaker Award, although I know two of the speaker, Leadership Speak and Vinod, were over time. So I'm not sure if they are eligible to participate in the Best Speaker, but
They all do, and Bud Brown can put it up. He's the Sergeant at Arms. Thanks.
Okay, but can you do that for, please put the poll for all the 4 speakers, please? And after that, it's about 10:31. We will take a 4 minutes of a social breaks for everybody to give their bio break, get coffees and all that stuff too. And we'll reassemble at 10:35. So it's 10:31, 4 minutes. I know it's too short, but we have an exciting meeting so far. We've heard interesting speeches, inspiring speeches, and we still have a full agenda ahead of us. So 4 minutes of a bio quick break, and we'll assemble again back at 10:35. Sergeant, can you remind us it's at 10:35, please?
For sure.
So Ram, how is it going for you, man?
Brahm, it's good. You gave us a very good trailer for what's coming up next. It's really good for the 23rd of July. That's going to be amazing. It's going to. I'm doing good. You, Brahm, see you every week. I didn't see the posting till this morning. I said, oh, maybe Brahm doesn't want me to attend this morning. We just got busy in the July 23rd preparation.
Yes.
Just here, Brahm, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
So no, yeah, I'm busy with the 23rd of July event for sure, but also we have a sergeant at arms that is in between, and so we are looking for another sergeant at arms because she cannot continue. Job she had a good job that she had to take on Saturdays. And
sure,
so then I had to take back and then start sending out the emails and so on to fill in between. So hence we were not able to send it out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry to but is now 10:35, and I am now.
But do you need the poll up there? It's still just hanging out there on the screen.
I thought I'd removed it. Sorry. There's.
Okay, I think I removed it anyways. I think so.
Okay.
Perfect.
Anyway, will you welcome back our Toastmaster for today, Dinesh?
Thank you, Sergeant Adam Brahm. For welcome back, everybody. I'm sure everybody, although it was a short break, breaks are always short when we say that too. We are going to move on to the second part of the meeting, which is on the table topics evaluation. But before we do that too, there's two things that I want to share. One is based on the poll, we saw Sarfaraz is the best speaker, has been awarded. So congratulations, Sarfaraz. And Vinod and Juvellys and Brahm, they all followed it too. So congratulations, Sarfaraz, for that too. And the second thing that I want to remind everybody, we put it there in the chat also, in the table topics, let's use the word of the day, zealous. Zealous, the word of the day. I haven't seen much being used so far in the speeches or in the question. So table topics is the best time to use the word of the day. And our table topic master for the day today is Farsi. Farsi, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to that moment when we have table topics, an opportunity to speak extemporaneously. I believe we have quite a veteran crew tonight. So please remember, use the word of the day, zealous, having or showing great energy or enthusiasm. And I know every single one of us can do that. Reminder, 1 to 2 minutes. We'll show you the red at 2. You get till 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And please remember to use that word of the day. I'd like to offer you one more challenge as well. I'd like for you to focus on making a connection with your audience. I think it's one of the things that we sometimes forget when we do table topics. We're so worried about trying to make sure that we put something together that makes some sense. But I know we're a veteran crew. So let's challenge ourselves. In addition to the word of the day, work to make that connection with this online audience. Our theme is leading at a higher level. Leading at a higher level. And so my question to you is, do you remember this from Brahm's presentation a few weeks back? What is a leadership lesson from Brahm that's going to help you lead at a higher level? What is a leadership lesson that you have learned from Brahm that will help you lead at a higher level? For this, I'm going to go to one of our members, Bud Brown. Would you care to tackle this one, sir?
If I can get my image back up. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm so focused on this Sergeant at Arms job that I didn't even hear the topic you posed for me.
Okay, the question is, can you give us a leadership tip or something you have learned from Brahm that will help you lead at a higher level? Keep in mind our word of the day, zealous.
Welcome, fellow Toastmasters. To tell you the truth, the wonderful advice that Brahm has given. It's not that I don't remember his advice. It's that I have heard so many leaders over so many advice has merged in with all those great leaders. So I'm just going to give you something that I have learned in leadership, and that is connection. on a personal level is the keynote. It is the highlight, the thing that makes leaders stand out. And people in the past give me leadership, give me guidance, and when that happened, I realized that it was because they had turned to me and said, or they had turned to me and said, I need your help. And these are things that guide us in where we're going to charge. We want people who work with you, the people that you expect to lead, and look into their understanding of what the organization needs, and then using that information. I need your help, and you'll find out that the vast majority of time, those people will say, "I'm there for you." See how zealous you are for this program, and I want to make sure that your vision is places as well. So let me in at a higher level.
Fantastic. Thank you, Bud Brown. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to hear everything that you said. Your sound was cutting in and out. And I tell you what came through was your passion for leadership and your respect for our founder, Brahm. And I appreciate that. Well done, sir. Moving on to our next prompt. And for this, I'm going to go to one of our guests. My question is, what do you see inside of yourself that others don't see? What do you see inside of yourself that others don't see that's going to help you lead at a higher level? Toastmaster Ram Lakanpal, would you care to tackle this one?
Yes, I would.
Mic is yours.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and there are a lot of guests there. A pleasant welcome. What don't they see inside me is the question that will lead me to a high level. There are so many steps out there that will take you to that higher level. And it begins with, if it were Toastmasters, you come and attend every meeting, and there is always something to take back. Brahm took us on a journey today in those high levels that I urged to attend at all times. But today it gave me something more that I want to tell you that others didn't know about. I attended this meeting simply because I come back to see what's happening. What will take me to a high level is by listening and by learning and by observing others that are doing so well at this club. This club is truly amazing and continues to be each and every week. We have a refreshment of things, new titles, new speeches, etc. It's really, really good. And I'm really, really zealous about this club that will catapult me to that high level. Mr. Toastmaster, back to you.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Farsi.
I'm on mute. No one can mute me except my cat. He likes to mute me. I beg your pardon. Thank you very much for using the word of the day. I appreciate it. Moving forward, oh my goodness. The worst thing about technology is when you make the same mistake twice, then you really feel like a goober. I hope you can see this little cartoon from the far side. My third question is about ethics. What role does ethics play when we are trying to lead at that higher level? What role does ethics play when we are trying to lead at a higher level? The person I chose may not still be here. Liliana Nakamura, are you still here? I don't believe so. So I'm going to go to Yvonne Codrington. Would you be interested, Yvonne, in tackling this question?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Then we will move to Guest AK. Guest AK. You are still here. Are you interested?
Okay, the question is, what role does ethics have to play at a higher leadership?
Yes, please, at leadership at that higher level. And please remember to use the word of the day, zealous. Thank you.
Just a sec, my sound, there's some problem with my sound. Just a sec, please. Are you able to hear me?
Yep.
I'm not able to hear. Just give me 1 second. There's some. Yeah, now I'm able to hear. So what role does ethics have to play at a higher leadership level? Well, ethics is the fulcrum, is the skeleton, and is the backdrop of every leader. Now, do I sound cliched? Do I sound like a holier than thou person who's talking about something which is morally very correct? But is that the true situation today? I think yes. When you have a leader who leads by example, and you have a leader who has faith in what he or she is doing, and he does it the right way, then you're in for following him really tight. I'm going to take the example of Mahatma Gandhi, which is an oft repeated example. He led by faith in ethics. He believed in non-violence to achieve freedom. He believed that you don't have to oppress the oppressor to go forth. That is the true leader who came across and led people in the right way. So if you want to lead people in the right way, all you have to do is hold on to your ethics, hold on to your values, be zealous, and you'll come out right on top. Back to the table topics master.
Thank you. Nice job. Nice job. And it's always great to hear quotes about Gandhi. Always. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Moving to our next question. Courage is knowing it might hurt and doing it anyway. Stupidity is the same. And that's why life is hard. Courage is knowing it might hurt and doing it anyway. Stupidity is the same. And that's why life is hard. How do we know if we are being courageous or stupid or ignorant as leaders? How do we know if we are being courageous or stupid or ignorant as leaders? I offer this to guest Rosie Rana. Rosie, are you still with us?
Yes, I am, Mr. Table Topic Master.
You good? The word of the day is
well,
zealous.
Thank you. Your question is quite confusing, I must say, but I'm reminded of a zealous leader that I really admire. I think many of you know him. It's Nelson Mandela, because there's a quote by him that really came to mind as you were asking your question. And that quote is that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And we really saw that through Mandela's actions. He was afraid of being imprisoned. He was afraid of the colonialists, but he still fought for independence. So I think that was really wise, and it was wisdom and wanting to, and very noble and high. And that is leadership to a high level indeed. But the reason I say that your question somewhat surprised me is I have never thought of stupidity and courage in the same lines or aligned to the same level. So I'm not sure, and I'm trying to think, would it be stupid of me to be afraid but do it anyway? Absolutely. If I don't know how to swim and then I see a deep end and I jump in, I think that would be stupid, especially if I have no strategy. So are they the same? No, I think they're very different, because when you go to a high level of leadership and you do something, it's because you have a vision, you have a reason, and you go ahead. On the other hand, stupidity, there is no vision, you don't think about it, and you could really jeopardize your life, if not the life of others. So I think it needs zealousness in both instances, but let's go with leadership to a higher level rather than stupidity anytime. Don't you agree, fellow Toastmasters? Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing in Nelson Mandela into this discussion. And thank you for discussing vision. Vision, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Mr. Toastmaster, do I have time for one more or two more, or have we come to the end of our table topic journey?
You can do one more, Table Topic Master.
One more it is. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader, that's all of us in the group. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want.
You're on mute, Farsi.
How does it end up in mute? Mani Bandari, what did, I'm not even gonna bother. You saw the quote, Mani Bandari, are you interested in taking this table topic? I offer it to you.
Sorry, I won't be able to do this. I'm not a professional Toastmaster yet. I'm just listening and grasping things today.
That's perfectly okay. Well, then I'm going to go to our timer, because the timer is always the hardest working person during these meetings, and they don't get a whole lot of opportunities. So our timer tonight is Luz Sanchez, Toastmaster Luz Sanchez. Your question is, and I've got a timer here for you, a leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be. Word of the day is zealous. The time is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mr. Table Topics Master. When I think about a leader takes people where out to go, right? I think about my children, because sometimes they don't want to listen. They don't want to do what I suggest. But with love, patience, reminders, affirmations, right? I can take them to that path where sometimes they don't want to listen. My daughter is 13 years old. And sometimes she's like, Mom, no, don't tell me right now. Don't tell me right now. You already told me that, right? But if she continues doing some, let's say, right, her issue sometimes is that she goes to sleep when I go to sleep. She doesn't go to sleep a certain time. She doesn't have that discipline. So she ends up getting up late to go to school. And sometimes I wake her up to go to school and she doesn't want to wake up, right? So and then takes forever to take a shower, forever to get ready. Sometimes we end up being late, and I tell her, Lucette, you really have to work in your discipline, because we are building habits, and these habits are gonna serve you when you get older, right? Being on time is so important. So I always tell her, if you're not on time, you're late, right? And I want to remember this phrase of being on time is late. Being before time is what it is. Being on time. I gotta remind myself of that quote because I really need to use it for my daughter. Well, that's all I have to say. So yes, we are mothers are great leaders, and I'm gonna see my daughter later on. I gotta work on her habits. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Luz. Thanks for stepping in at the last minute. I believe the quote that you're looking for is early is on time is late, and late is left behind. At least that's what I tell all my kids.
Unacceptable.
I leave a lot of kids behind, you know. No. Just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you, everyone, for being such zealous speakers tonight. Thank you for making the attempt to make that connection with your audience. Remember, that is one of the things that we can do to take our leadership to a higher level. Connect. Make that connection with our audience. Make that connection with the people with whom we are entrusted as leaders. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Masters. We already see the timer has put the timing there in the chat for the different table topics, but Brown 1.58. May I request the Sergeant at Arms to put the poll for the best table topics, please?
Just wait for a couple of minutes. I'm just putting it together.
Okay, perfect. In the meantime, I'm going to do something
Right, done.
because
It's done. Go ahead.
Okay.
Bud, go ahead.
Perfect. Can we have the results, please? Perfect. Congratulations, Rosie, for being the winner of the table topics.
Thank you.
Moving on, the next portion of the meeting is evaluations, and I'm going to invite our general evaluator, Mary Lou, to do that portion of the evaluations of the meeting. Over to you, Mary Lou.
Thank you very much, Dinesh. As the evaluator, I'm going to be evaluating the general meeting and the evaluators. I will not be evaluating the speakers because they have already been evaluated. As we move through and I look at the meeting, I'd like to invite the first evaluator, which will be, let's see, which is Sandi Emdin, to do the evaluation for Brahm, please.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially to our fearless leader who is so zealous and no matter what he says, Brahm Memone. This project was to inspire your audience, and I liked that you are keeping us informed of the Leadership Summit. A couple of things I did learn is that Zoom can manage 1,000 guests. I didn't know that before. And there are a lot of logistics to putting an event like this together. I didn't realize, I guess I'm not that great of a listener. I didn't realize that the club Leadership Speak was sponsoring this event. I also learned this is part of your DTM, the 10th one or the, something I would have liked to have learned. I felt that there was a lot of information, and I still would like to have like a FAQ, a frequently asked question. There's a few things I'd like to learn still. I don't quite understand the difference between a Toastmaster conference, the international convention, leadership summits outside of that, and how this fits in. I know that one of the missions of Leadership Speak and this summit is to showcase the Leadership Club. I'm still just not really sure on what you want me to do other than share. And so those are some of the things. Again, I think that you use a lot of technology, and I would just love to see your face on the screen with a lot of eye contact. And here's 3 things that I would love you to do as ambassadors of Leadership Speak, and how you can spread the word and participate, that kind of thing. I'm just making this up, but something slower, because you, like me, and Vinod does it too, when we get really passionate about something, we speak really fast. And I'm still learning how to not do that as often, but in your speech, sometimes when you get very zealous, you tend to speak very quickly. And I think I would really like to learn more about the Leadership Summit, how I can participate, how I can help you achieve that 1,000 mark, but I'm not sure how yet. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that as we get closer to the date, July 23rd. I know that because of your speech today. I think this is going to be great. And I like that you use outside the box, outside the lines. And I think that's what this club demonstrates. And I look forward to being part of your dream in any way that I can. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sandi. Sandi, I'd like to say thank you very much for your feedback on Brahm's speech. You gave him your true personal opinion as to what you heard him say and how you heard him say it. So that was good, because I think it's good feedback for Brahm for things that maybe haven't come across in his message as clearly as he'd like, and to make his messaging a success for the conference. I think you have given him some really good points. So thank you very much for your evaluation. The next evaluator that we have is Mariana Burka. Mariana?
Thank you very much, Madam G. And fellow Toastmasters, and especially you, Juvellys. Thank you very much for sharing your life with us. And though it was an icebreaker, but you are definitely not a novice speaker. We could see that. You started your speech with a question engaging all of us, made all of us think about our life, that we ever questioned ourselves or what we were doing. And thank you very much for sharing your sad part of your life. And most importantly, what I really like, that you showed us the way, how can we go forward, how can we change, and how are you planning to change others' life, working zealously on bettering your friends' life. And you did all that with vocal variety, with eye contact, even got close to the camera. And I love that. I would like to challenge with one thing. Maybe you should stand up time to time and just give a bit more of yourself. And you could explain better how you planned all those parties, or how did you go through your challenges? How did you learn to improve your life? And then you are welcome to sit back on and talk about your experience. But all in all, it was an excellent speech. Congratulations to you for your speech, and especially to your life journey, that you were able to overcome your problems and you made something wonderful out of it. And good luck to you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana. As usual, you give a very succinct and informative evaluation. You were able to recap what Juvellys had said and the benefits that she had gained over her speech. You had clearly demonstrated with your evaluation points to be improved on, leaning into the camera, the standing up and sitting and delivering. Yes, those were very good points that Juvellys can take away for her next speech. So thank you very much, Mariana. Oh, sorry. The next evaluator is Wesley Hillstrom. Wesley?
Yes, Madam General Evaluator. Safaraz was to, in his motivational strategies presentation, and an introduction of vocal variety and body language. The project was to exemplify those elements, and you did that in a very zealous manner as you took us through the obstacles of your athletic event, dealing with putting on the shoes, climbing the bench, climbing the table, and your dilemma or your consternation of having that boy grab at your shirt, and what was going through your mind and what was going through your thought process during that time. You gave us some your body language and vocal variety were very illustrative in demonstrating that event. And you gave us 3 very important lessons in your presentation. It's important to face your obstacles and overcome them. And of course, success is not achieved by preventing others from succeeding. And if you put your best effort, you are a winner. Well, I was involved for an athletic competition myself, and I would tell my teammates that as long as you do your best, you are a winner. If you walk away with a trophy or a medal, that's fine. That's just icing on an already delicious cake. But it's important to put your best effort, and you are a winner in doing that. Your clarity was good. Vocal variety was very well done. Eye contact was excellent throughout the presentation. You're aware of your audience. You have a very demonstrated excellent comfort level in giving your presentation. The audience was very interested in your presentation. And I would say I was struggling to find any points I could find with regard to what you could work on or what you could challenge yourself on. And I was really struggling, but I would say perhaps a projection. But overall, your projection, your presence, and it was very well done. Your projection was well done, your preparation was well done, and it was an overall very well done presentation. Thank you. National Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Wesley. Wesley, your evaluation for this speech was, it was factual. I'm going to put it that way. What I wanted to see a little bit more was a little bit more enthusiasm, because if you looked at Safaraz's speech, he was completely engaged. You did say, and what I really did like, was that there was a personal relationship to what you found, what Safaraz was saying, and something that resonated with you. So that was really good, and what you presented. So thank you very much for your evaluation for this speech. Our last evaluator is Penny Olak. Can you please speak, Penny? Peggy, sorry.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator Mary Lou. Fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, and especially Vinod. I really like listening to this speech about mentoring because we really get to learn about how Toastmasters has affected and benefited you, and you gave a great speech. One of the first things that I noticed right off is your use of hand gestures was very good. I could really see the movement in your hands and the way you placed yourself in the screen. And you also had very good organization of your speech by giving us those 3 points on mentoring. I like the way you started with mentors before you joined Toastmasters, and then brought that into during your time at Toastmasters. And you brought that to the most current with this particular club and a few members, Bud and Brahm, of this club, mentoring you and having a really great influence on you. I love some of the imagery that you used in your speech, especially when you were talking about how mentors show us the moon. And then at that point, it's really up to the mentor to be a guide, but not to direct and to show us how to, I guess, reach our goals, because we have a lot of influence in that ourselves. I was really impressed with the way you took a subject that is sometimes shied away from in Toastmasters with your second point, where you refer to political savviness. And I think that's important, because if you can't talk about difficult subjects in Toastmasters, that's where you can learn to talk about difficult subjects effectively and perhaps influence people a little more. Now, that being said, I certainly wouldn't recommend doing political topics and speeches all the time. But when you're doing something like that, talking about politics, it came across as a little bit negative at first, saying politics is all about power. And just expand on that a little bit, because politics is not always about power. It's also about influencing people and influencing them to do things that they might not have thought of otherwise. So I think you could have really tied that in beautifully when you were talking about respect, integrity, service, and excellence, and how political savviness with those 4 values could really make this world a better place. And it can certainly make Toastmasters a better organization as well, because as you mentioned, there's politics everywhere. Again, I really love the way you tied in your speech and brought us back to how Bud and Brahm showed you the moon, and you have learned how to develop yourselves and really become a very effective speaker yourself. So thank you for sharing a wonderful speech about mentorship. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator Mary Lou.
Thank you, Peggy. I would just like to say that a combination of Vinod and your evaluation was actually very good. The messaging in both made a complete package. Your delivery was good. The only thing that I'm going to suggest that you maybe pay attention to, and all of us need to do that, is just your your microphone. You're there, it's coming across as a little bit staticky. So that was just detracting a little bit from your messaging, but your overall delivery, your points made about what Vinod needed to sort of expand on, especially in the political arena, was really very good. So thank you very much for your evaluation for today. Madam Timer, would you please give us the times for the evaluations, please?
Sure.
Thank
For
you.
Sandi, Emdin is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Mariana Burka, 1 minute 55 seconds. Wes Hiltram, 3 minutes 8 seconds. And Peggy Unlock, 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Liz. And evaluators, job well done. You have been within your time limit, so good job. Could we have the polls for the evaluator, please? Very good. To all our evaluators, thank you very much. And now I'm going to make sure that I try and pronounce her name correctly. Sureshi Karan, who is our grammarian, to let us know how we did today, please.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you to all our zealous leaders for using this word and for making this meeting quite a success. Luz used it once, Perse twice, Bud once, Ram Lakhanpal once, AK once, Rosie once, Zealous and also zealousness, which is a noun, Sandi twice, Mariana used zealously, which is an adverb. A few good phrases: conformity, ambiguity, creativity, creme de la creme, mom on a mission, politically savvy, authentic, fulcrum, oft repeated, succinct. There were no glaring examples of the misuses of the language, but let me give you an R-counter report for a better explanation. Dinesh used so once and are twice. Mariana used and twice and so once. Juvellys used you know once. Wesley repeated your several times. Vinod used are once. Mary Lou a few times, more than 5, and are 3 times. Sandi used are twice and are once. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Sureshi, for your report. Now to my general report of the meeting. The meeting started on time, which was great. Everybody was welcomed, and we had a general sort of conversation at the beginning of the meeting, led by Brahm, who is always great at making sure that we connect. So that is a great thing. But as SAA, you started really well. Unfortunately, you had problems with your microphone, but that's something that we just have to test maybe before the meeting and see if we can get it ironed out so that we don't have it as an ongoing thing to deal with. Francois, your toast was great. I would suggest that maybe you remind people, especially the guests, that we do a toast, and we usually have a glass to raise to do the toast. So that would actually help. The guests joined, I'm not quite sure if they joined late or there was something with that happened in the meeting, but whoever is the SAA who will introduce or admit the guests or anybody else that is late needs to pay attention to make sure that they come in on time. Okay. Timer, Liz, you did a fantastic job. Everything was on bang on. Your timings in the agenda in the chat makes it very easy for us to keep track of. So that much was appreciated as well. And Suresha, as I said, your grammarian report, top notch. Overall, I have felt that it was a great meeting. Always a learning experience for me every time I come to my meetings. So I greatly appreciate coming here. And I love the general interaction and the learnings that come from it. To wrap up, our Toastmaster of the day, Dinesh, I always enjoy hearing you speak and also to lead the meetings. You have a passion for the topic, and it comes across in the way that you express your ideas and express your introductions. So that is something that I greatly appreciate and learn from your presentations. The only thing that I would recommend to, just as a reminder for you, is just to pay attention to your background, because you have two lights just on the other side and they were pretty bright. So just figure out where to sit yourself when you're on screen. Other than that, I'd like to turn it back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for the great evaluations of the meeting. And as you said, a good meeting is always done when we get a good feedback also, because when we get good feedback, that's how it helps us learn, improve. And as Brahm said in the meeting, the best way to grow in the life is to unlearn, then only we can learn about it. So having an open mind and listening to it. So thank you to you. Thank you to all the evaluators for the evaluating the speeches, and to all the speakers for the wonderful speeches that they gave it today. I have a special announcement to make today. I just got to hear something very exciting news, which I will share it, but I want to hold on to it for next couple of minutes time. Before that, I want to hear the comments from the guests that were here on how did they feel the meeting went. Did they learn something? So guest feedback. I know Ram Lakhanpal, he's been here a few times, so we'll hold on to him for the moment. But I'm going to start off with others. Mani Bhandari, would you want to share your feedback about the meeting?
Yes, sure. Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Dinesh. I'm not a Toastmaster Club member yet, but I have really learned a lot today. I have listened all the speeches very closely, and even I was listening to the evaluators, how they are working so well and giving each and every details. Hopefully, I really want to join Toastmasters Club. I'll get back to you how and when I can join that. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be in this meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mani. I know Liliana and Rosie have dropped off, but can we have guest Anusha? Correct me if I spelled your name wrong. Anusha, how did you find the meeting today?
She's not in the meeting.
Okay, sorry. And Yuan, are you still here? Yuan, I think.
Yes,
Yvonne
Yvonne.
Codrington.
Yes, I'm still here. Enjoy
Okay, perfect.
everything. I enjoy the meetings always. And this today was another good day. And I listened carefully to the speeches and the evaluations, and I thought they were excellent.
Thank you.
Just like Safaraz' inspirational speech, how he turned his speech into just not gestures and vocal variety, but it was very inspirational at the end as well. So that was good for me. And thanks for having me another Saturday morning.
Well, you know, Yvonne, thank you for attending every Saturday. What I like to do is to invite you to become a member because you've been attending and you know how our club works. Can we have a conversation after this meeting sometime over the week?
Yes.
Absolutely, we should. I'll connect with you and have a conversation. Thank you for
Very
being
well.
here.
Thank
Back to you,
you.
Dinesh.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And I know Sarfaraz gave a wonderful speech, but he's a guest today at our club. So Sarfaraz, any comments about the meeting today?
I enjoyed the meeting, organized, very well run, and I look forward to joining your meeting next week again. I'm already on the agenda, I think. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ram Lakhanpal, you want to say something? I know you've been attending the meetings regularly, but any thoughts?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Yes, indeed, I've been attending for a very good reason because there's a lot of substance here to take back and to learn each and every time. Like any other club, this club is undergoing a change type of thing. Change meaning growing up, moving up the ladder. Each and every week, I see good things happening. And I've been observing for a little while. And I told Brahm that I will consider that towards the end of the Toastmaster year in whether I would move on with this club or another. And this certainly is an advanced club. And truly, indeed, it is. You can see it by the speeches, by the evaluations. You can see many, many good things happening here. But the core thing is it's not only a few people in here that will make this club a grand one. It will be everybody, every member, not only take, but it is for us to give. It is in giving that we in turn will receive at the end. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Guest Ramla. We have 3 minutes left for this meeting. And now I want to share the important announcement that I just got the information there too. The theme of the meeting is leading at a higher level. So when you're leading at a higher level is sometimes you have to do stuff that is out of your comfort zone. Okay, you have to do it. And one individual who did that today, I have a lot of appreciation for him for doing this. And that individual is Vinod Panicker because it is his birthday today. Okay, so let's join everybody and sing a song. Happy birthday to you. Let's join
Happy
me and sing it.
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday
dear
to you.
Vinod. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday to
dear
you.
Happy birthday to you.
I think we better
comment,
stick with
Vinod?
Toastmasters.
Thank you, dear
Any
leadership
comments, Vinod?
family. Thank you.
Mr.
No, thank you very
Toastmaster,
much,
I have
Dinesh.
an announcement.
So
Mr.
go ahead.
Toastmaster, I have an announcement.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Before we end this meeting today, next week, as you know, some of you know, or maybe all of you know, if you read in our group on WhatsApp, that First is doing a speech, is practicing his winning speech at District 85. Hopefully that will be his winning speech to take him to the finals, where he will have to do another speech at the finals. And we are making sure that he practices and gets great feedback. So we have some amazing evaluators from around the world. Sarfaraz will be one of them. He's as you know, a district winner in his own district. So he'll be here, and a couple of other evaluators. So make sure and that you'll be here next week as well. First, you will be doing a workshop for half an hour on how to put together a winning speech. Be here or you'll be square, I think that's the saying. The other thing is, of course, our we will be holding a by-election for the Sergeant at Arms. We couldn't hold it today because we hadn't announced it. I mean, this happened very suddenly that our current Sergeant at Arms and the incoming Sergeant at Arms, who is the same person, Nikita, found a job on Saturdays and she cannot continue as a Sergeant at Arms. She will continue as a member, but she cannot really pay too much attention to the role of Sergeant at Arms. She did train a couple of people yesterday on how to do the role, but the election will be next week, Saturday. Now, we know that we have the workshop and the speech and the evaluation panel next week. So what we will do is at 11:30 when we break, don't go away from between 11:30 and 11:40, only for 10 minutes, please bear with us, only for 10 minutes. We need a quorum and we will do the election. It won't take more than 10 minutes. And Vinod will be conducting, Vinod, confirm that you'll be here next week and that you'll be conducting that election.
Yeah, I will be there, bro.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Brahm, and thank you, everybody. Sorry, we're just 1 minute late from the scheduled time of 11:30. I have thoroughly enjoyed this meeting today. Thank you for giving me the honor of serving you as the Toastmaster for the day today. I learned a lot today from all of you, and I will continue to serve you in whichever capacities I can do. Any final comments anybody wants to make it? Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Any final comments, anyone? Hearing none, I call this meeting to end the day today. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the time wherever you are, evenings, day, afternoon, and the rest of the weekend. Bye for now, and we'll see you next week.
And don't go away if you want to hang around. We are here. I'm here at least. A couple of us are here if you want to have a conversation and network. But most importantly, connect. I'm here. Let's connect. So don't leave. Okay, great. So these people will, let's connect.
I think we had a good meeting today.
And thanks to Marianne, actually, you put it together, you know, otherwise, I mean, you're doing a lot of hard work to put things together, even though you are the incoming VP of Education and you're just a lay member, you are self-driven, self-directed, and you've taken it on since the past couple of weeks. So, and we see the results today. So thank you very much. So when you see Mariana, you got to thank her. Remember for next week as well. She put it all together,
Mariana,
contacted all the speakers, and she spent umpteen amount of hours.
Speeches.
Yeah, the one thing we forgot was to remind somebody to go into do the next meeting. We don't have a Toastmaster. Oops. Anybody here wants to volunteer?
Sorry, Toastmaster for?
Next week.
Oh, we do, isn't it?
June 18th, I don't see it in Easy Speak unless I'm looking at the wrong thing.
We have a full agenda next week because we have a special event.
Next week is June 11th.
Yeah.
For June 18th, of course, yeah, we don't, if that's what you meant.
Yeah, maybe I jumped ahead. My apologies.
No worries. So yeah, for June 18th, because next week is a special event, we already have it all figured
Lined
it
up.
out. So those anyone wants to
Person.
volunteer for June 18th, please do right now. If anyone of you want to do that, be the Toastmaster.
That's what's one of the things, Brahm, that I really took from you is that if we volunteer ahead, like even 2 or 3 weeks, it makes it easier in the whole thing. So that I am going to sort of try and do that as well. So.
And meetings are set up all the way till end of July. So you can go as far ahead as end of July, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, which is great.
All right. Well, Wesley, thank you for coming. You know, I mean, I don't know what Mariana did to you, bludgeon you on the head and pull you by your hair, you know, and bring you all in here. So, but she did manage to. So,
well, everybody was willing participant. I'm just hunting people constantly.
You just tell them I'm the daughter of Attila the Hun.
Exactly.
And there's, oh, I'm coming to the meeting.
I was engaged in other activities. As I said before, I'm a member of other organizations, and sometimes those have to I have to obligations to
Sure.
To those organizations.
What's your obligation to Leadership Speak, by the way?
My obligation to Leadership Speak.
I mean, you're a charter member, right? So
to become a better person, actually, not only a better Toastmaster, but a better person.
That's about you, but what about the club? What's in it for us? For me, you're a charter member. What's in it for me? For Vinod, for Marianne, for Peggy, and Luz, charter members here. So,
well, I will say this: my presentation next week. The inspiration, well, if it's that it was Ron's passing. I do not believe that life ends with physical demise, and my presentation next week will deal with why some events that happened in my life, why I feel that way.
Yeah.
The presentation the following week will have to do with integrity, which is the first core value of Toastmasters. But I gave a presentation at the it was just a educational presentation at a district conference along those lines. This will be similar to that, but it'll be it'll bring out elements of integrity that I learned from my dad. He was very much a leader and had a great deal of integrity and loyalty. Those are two values I picked up from my dad. I'd like to share those with Leadership Speak, and I hope that Leadership Speak from those two presentations will gain, the members of Leadership Speak will gain from those presentations.
Awesome. Oh, great. Yeah, I can see that you're speaking about integrity next week. Thank you.
I think I have to go because I have a training today, so I have to go and get some training for the next year.
That's at 12:30, right?
Well, they do have some presentation as we're speaking.
Well, that's true as well. They have other things too. All right.
I'm going to leave because my new executive, we're meeting in the next hour, so I'm going to get myself ready. We having our the all executive, we're having a handover, and then I'm just wanting everyone to understand the focus of my vision and what is expected. Now I've been elected as president for my club.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. So I am gonna get myself ready for that meeting, and a very intense one, I must say.
Yeah. Have a good weekend.
Take care.
Take care. Yes.
Thank you,
Everyone.
Francois. Yeah, take care.
I have some news. Well, it's not a news. I just want to let you know that I just got we're gonna have a production, and I have to attend every Saturday. I will send you my dates, Brahm, so you know. I think from the June 25th all the way to August, every Saturday I will be in productions in the morning.
Sure. Send it to Mariana.
Oh, Mariana. Okay. I'll send it to Mariana right now.
And also, since the agenda is open, you can put an X. So if you know you're not coming on the agenda, on the easy.
Yeah, I just send it to you, Mariana.
Noted. So yeah, that's too bad. We're gonna miss you, but come back once you finished.
I know, and I feel like today, right? Finally, I was able to concentrate on the meeting, because before I was just trying to get everything on how the meeting is do, right? How is every meeting is different in every Toastmasters. So,
Yes, that's
right. And here it's just totally different than other Toastmasters that I have been. So I'm finally getting adjusted, because today I was even I was able to do a little bit of table topics and the timer. I wanted to time myself, but still finally getting it. I really was able to focus on the speeches. Not like other days. It's like I just I'm in everything, but it's not. I'm not grasping every single thing. And today I really felt that I was in the meeting. Right, I'm barely adjusting, and now I have to do this job. So, but I will come back.
Yes, please.
Whenever that's done, I will miss you. And if I can join 1 hour in the morning, I will join.
Well, you can drop by anytime.
Oh, yes, that'd be great.
The thing is that I have to travel. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's at 9 in the morning. Everything we start production at 9. I feel like I have to be there at 8. So I'm thinking I have to leave from here like 6:30 in the morning. So actually that's the time that I connect here to Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate each one of you.
Good luck with your project and come back when you're ready or whenever.
I have to come back because I really need to work on my communication skills. Thank you. Continue practicing.
We are getting better by the week, right?
Yes.
Please agree with me, guys.
Probably next
all the
week.
best, Liz. All the best.
Yeah, probably next week I will give a speech and right before I leave, because I don't want to not give any speech. I just have given one speech. So Mariana, sign me in for one speech next week.
All right, we will connect on WhatsApp and we schedule it.
Sure. Okay, thank you so much.
Excellent.
I'll see you
I
next
would
week.
like to, like what you said.
I'll see you next week and have a blessed week, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, Wes.
Hi, Wes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Vinod, one more time.
Thank you very much, dear.
Yes,
Thank
singing
you. I would like to I would like to say that to Baby Bird or who is uploading the education award, I have completed my level 1 and level 2. Level 1 from engaging humor and level 2 from effective coaching.
But Brown is doing
Bird is doing it. So I will send it, I mean, say in the group, I'll put it in the group or I'll put it individually to the Bird. Because I had confirmed that we'll contribute and make sure the club becomes president distinguished.
Exactly. You're getting
awesome.
Very good.
I should actually be able to finish a level 1 within the next week or 2 as well, and I'll give that over. I think that'll give you 4.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you'll have something for me too within the next couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Before the end of June for sure.
I think you are scheduled on the 18th to speak.
Yeah, I actually removed that because I've already given that speech. Plus I have club officer training that morning as well, because so I won't be at the 18th meeting, but I'm giving the speech next Thursday that will complete my level 1.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so see you around next week.
Yes.
See you, I'll take a leave. Bye-bye.
Yep. Okay, guys, I gotta go too.
And, happy birthday, Vinod. I hope you do get to celebrate.
Thank you very much. I'm going. My family is waiting.
Bye-bye.
Have a great time with your family.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone. Stay well.
All right. Take care. Bye, guys.